James here with the Board Game Network. I'm going to be explaining how to play this game called Isle of Skye from Chieftain to King. It's put up by Mayfair, and this is a Kennerspiel du Jour nominee for this year, 2016. It's up against Pandemic Legacy and Time Stories. This game here is much simpler than either of the other two, and I would put it in the Spiel du Jour category, the simpler category myself, but I don't know how that works, but somebody nominated it for the Kennerspiel. This actually is similar to like Carcassonne, so if you like Carcassonne, you might really like this game here. Here's the setup for this. You are building an island, and you want yours to be the best scoring island. So everybody has their own island. You start out with a screen here. Here's the starting token that the youngest player gets. You put the black marker here on the track. Everybody else's counters go with the 0. There's a stack of these that help you score at the end of the game. You just mix those up and put 4 face up there. The rest of them are discarded. Everybody gets one of these axe tokens. Everybody gets a castle, and it's got your color on the back, so that's the easiest way to find it in a stack of these tiles. Now if you look at this, this board here has a 2 to 4 on one side and a 5 on the other side, so that's the number of players. So if you're playing 5 players, you use this side. 2 to 4 is this side. This game plays 2 to 5 players, 8 years and up, in about an hour. So I've got this set up for 5 players, so I should be using this side here. So I put those out, scoring, or the round marker there. There are 6 rounds in this game, or 5 in a 5 player. You see there's only 5 circles here, or ovals here for a 5 player. The other board has 6. Here's the phases of the round. The first thing you do is get income. That's always good to get some income, and the way you get income is you get 5 for each castle. Well, you've got 1 castle to start with, and it shows you 5 there to remind you, plus 1 for every barrel of whiskey connected to the castle via a road. So if you have a barrel of whiskey but it's not connected to the castle, it doesn't count for income. And then also, once you get to the 3rd round and following, you actually get more coins based on if you're behind other players. So in this, let's just throw some out here. So let's say we're in the 3rd round. Blue is going to get 1 extra coin for being in 2nd place. Red is going to get 2 extra coins. White will get 3. And yellow will get 4 extra coins. Now when you go up here, then it goes to 2 coins. So blue would get 2, red would get 4, 6, and 8. And then up here is 3. So it actually makes a significant difference that when you're way behind, you can actually earn a lot of money. And it really helps out for buying better tiles. So we're just starting at round 1. So that's our income. So everybody ends up getting 5 at the beginning. Then the second phase here is to draw 3 tiles and set your price. So you get your bag of tiles. You draw 3 out. Each player does that. You put them face up in front of your screen. Now this isn't nearly enough space to play this game. I just crammed it in here for the camera. You're going to have these tiles out here so you've got space around them to build on. So you throw your 3 tiles up here. You take your axe and you put it behind one of the tiles, and that tile you're going to discard. You're not going to use. So you pick one of them and then you price the other 2. So you really need 1s to start with, or 2s instead of a 5. So I'm going to take and put 2 on that one, 2 on that one. I'm going to keep 1. You want to keep whatever's left over in your hand so other people don't see how much you got left. Let's just say I'm the starting player. Everybody does that. Then once that's done, you take your screen away, you discard the tile that you put the axe beside. That goes back in the bag. What you're doing here is you are pricing your tiles. You're telling what you're willing to sell these for on their turn. So everybody's going to pull back their screen and show off their tile. Now I only have one coin left with which to purchase tiles because I priced mine at 2, which leaves me only one left. So if somebody out here has only one or one gold on their tile, then I can buy that tile. Let's just say I bought one, and you give that money to the player you're buying the tile from. So let's just say I bought this tile, whatever it is. Okay, next person, he gets to buy a tile from anybody. Next person gets to buy it, and you don't have to buy a tile, but you only have the amount of money that you did not price your tiles at. Once all the buying is done, what you do is if you have any tiles that did not sell, you actually get to keep those, but the money goes back to the bank. So you bought your own from the bank based on what you priced them at. So if you price them high, you're less likely to sell them, but you're more likely to keep them. So there's a pro and con to pricing high, pricing low type thing, because if you price them lower, people will buy them from you, you'll get money, but then you'll have less tiles to build with. Okay, so the rules for building then are you have to put a mountain next to a mountain, you have to put grass next to grass, you have to put water next to water. However, your roads do not have to connect, so it is legitimate and legal for you to put, let's say in this case I put a mountain next to a mountain and that road does not continue. So that's okay to do that. And remember, you're getting a bonus for connecting your kegs of whiskey back to the castle. So if you can make your road from any barrels you have back to your castle, you'll end up getting bonus points for that. And then you score your tiles for the round. And the way you score tiles is you look at this, and this says A and B on this one. Well, this is A and this is B. So you score these two tiles. Next round is going to be A and C, and then B and D, and then A, D, and C, and then B, C, and D. So all of them are going to score 3 times throughout the game. And this one says if you have an animal next to a farm, on the same tile as a farm, or adjacent to the farm, you get 1 bonus point. So that would move your scoring marker up 1 or 3 or however many animals you had after you built that are on the same space or adjacent to a farm. This one says you're going to get 1 for every sheep. This one is 5 if you've got the most barrels, and 2 if you got the second most barrels. This one says if you have a mountain range with 1 tower on it, or what they call a brooch, you get 1 point. If you got 2 on the same mountain range, you get 3. If you've got 3 or more on the mountain range, you get 6. So everybody ends up getting scored, and you move your pieces around the board based on your scoring there. And you pass the starting player token, you move to the next round here, and when you get to the end of the last round, you do your scoring for that round, and then you have end of game scoring. And end of game scoring is based on these banners here on your island that you've built. And like this one says 1 point for every 2 barrels of whiskey. This one says 1 point for every 2 barrels of whiskey. So if you get those in your island, you probably want to be, trying to get a bunch of barrels on your island to increase your score. There's ones that give you bonuses for how many animals, or a variety of different kinds of tiles. And this back of this has a big reference for all of these for your round scoring. And then here is your reference for the end of game scoring. 1 victory point for every 2 sheep, 1 for every 2 barrels of whiskey, 1 for every 2 ships, 1 per cattle, 1 per brooch, 1 per farm, 1 per lighthouse. And if you'll notice this little icon here, this shows a circle around the banner. The points for the banner double if the banner is within an enclosed area. So if that mountain range ends with the banner in it, all the points for that banner double. If the banner's on the water and that water ends, then it doubles, or the grass. And for every 5 coins you have, you get 1 point there. So that was short and simple. That's how you play the game Isle of Skye. Tune into all of our videos here at the Board Game Network.